My boss got an $87,000 raise, while my department refuses to give me a $1 raise. The title pretty much says it all. I'm really fucking annoyed that my boss got an $87,000 raise and we're still fighting for a $1/hour raise after 5 years. My other bosses, with only one position of separation between us, got $30,000 raises. I just really wanted to vent about this. I'm having to consider working a second job at a local factory because of this fucking place. About to go into a meeting that's increasing me and my co-workers' workloads. I'm going to demand a raise for everyone or get fired trying. Wish me luck. Edit, commented on the post, but here's basically what happened. So this didn't go the way I expected it to. The shift supervisor agreed to fight for wages but couldn't promise anything. In the meantime, they accepted my disposition that I won't be doing the extra work for the time being. I might not be fired yet, but I seem to have bought some time in any case. I went into this meeting with the prep that I'd be out of a job today. Fully prepared to be fired soon still, but at least I can take some more of their money beforehand. Getting negative responses from people when I tell them I'm taking the full 12 weeks of FMLA to bond with my newborn. I work for a company that makes me eligible for FMLA. I decided I'm just going to take full advantage of it and stay home to support my wife and newborn. In my mind, I pay taxes, and help my company every chance I get by staying late or taking on duties other people have declined. On top of that, my boss has the same mindset and is cool with it. But it's when I talk to friends, family, and even other co-workers that they have negative responses. Some responses I've gotten is, "You really know how to fuck a guy over. Wouldn't you rather make money? That doesn't make sense, you're not the one getting all stretched out." If someone who worked for me said that, I would tell them absolutely not. What the hell is wrong with people? We require a marketing plan with candidates. Me, I don't care. Raised fist, medium skin tone. I've been looking for a new marketing job for quite a while. I've done several interviews with this company in the B2B niche I work in. I've been invited for a final round interview when the hiring manager drops this, "Can you present a marketing plan with the final interview?" No, I'm not going to do that. I didn't realize this wasn't a request, but we require a marketing plan with all candidates at this stage. The F***CK? Neutral face. My response to the hiring manager and recruiter was, "I don't care and thanks but no thanks." In a professional word soup. Essentially. I don't work for free. It's summer. I would invoice the company for this marketing plan. I've already submitted a portfolio of marketing work. I said I can put this marketing plan together once they extend an offer and I start the job. The hiring manager and recruiter are shocked by this attitude. How do I not see the great opportunity to create a whole free marketing plan for them? Face with open mouth. While I think it's a decent job, I would rather work for a company that respects my time. I thought this was the end of it. However, they keep contacting me since I know they can't find anyone better. They can hire a less experienced marketer that will take several years to learn. Not my problem. Man shrugging, medium skin tone. They were thrilled to find me, as it's very hard to find marketers in this specific B2B area. They want someone to hit the ground running. Luckily, I have final round interviews with 2 other companies this week. Smiling face with smiling eyes, thumbs up, medium skin tone. Update, for those saying this is standard or a reasonable request, I clarified what they wanted in r/marketing. The marketing plan needs to include competitor research, marketing growth projections, digital marketing ideas and plans, trade show marketing ideas and plans, dollar numbers from my current company's marketing and revenue growth, and more. The request for my current company's revenue numbers and other private internal data is a red flag. This violates my NDA. I've done other small projects in the interview process. This request is a huge project. Boss gave me surprised Pikachu face when talking about our wages. Just discovered this sub pretty recently, but figured this story was perfect for it. I started work with a warehouse in 2018, employed by a logistics company, and contracted to a tire manufacturer, two multi-billion-dollar companies. Basically they ship tires to us, and we sort and ship those tires to various stores. We're on forklifts for 90% of our shift, but we aren't paid as forklift operators because of the 10% of our time spent off of the forklift. The pay started out at $15 an hour, and increased to $20.50 an hour currently. The kicker is, year by year we got meager raises, until the minimum wage increased to $15 in California this year. We received a $4 raise as soon as the minimum wage was approved to increase. Casually talking to my boss a few months ago, and he brought up how difficult it has been to hire employees that are reliable and efficient, and how nobody seems to last longer than a few months. I replied with our pay could be better, to incentivize people to want to stay for a competitive wage compared to the numerous other warehouses that surround our facility, and he said he believed $20.50 was a fair wage to offer. Our neighboring warehouses start at $25 an hour minimum. I brought up that our wages only had a significant increase due to the minimum wage being raised, and asked if it was instead raised to $20 an hour instead if $15, what would we be paid? Seemingly, without giving it too much thought, he replied probably at least $25 an hour. I said if that's the case, why aren't we being paid that wage currently? He looked at me, realizing what he just said, and just replied thanks for taking the time to voice my thoughts and went back to his office. Quit my job, now my boss is sinking. So last year, another product manager in my company quit. I took over his job temporarily. That ended up being permanent. I was doing 12-hour plus days and completely burned out, depressed and just all around hating life. I complained to my boss. He had the perfect solution. I needed a manager to manage my time. Enrolls this incompetent F-wit getting paid twice the amount I was. She knew nothing about nothing. But I gave her the benefit of the doubt, and started helping her. This turned into me making her look competent. I was making presentations for her to show the board etc. So now I'm doing 15+ hour days on an 8-hour salary. Had my review 3 weeks ago. She was there along with the chief of product. I asked for a promotion and pay raise to match it. They declined. Why? Because F-wit had been taking the credit for everything I was doing. The CPO thought I was doing nothing and she was holding me afloat. I didn't say a word, just got up and walked out. The dev team I managed, walked out last Friday. They don't want to work under F-wit. They were vendors and the entire relationship was maintained by me. It's no problem for them, they jump on another contract. She doesn't know what to do, or how to do it. I got a better job. I'm 2 weeks in and loving it. I work 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., hybrid. I told my new boss I'm not coming into the office at all this week unless it cools down. He said there's aircon in the office. I said I was worried about my dog being at home. He said say no more, work from home. OT pays about 30% more than the previous role. F-wit calls me today, begs me to come back. Lays it on real thick that people will lose their jobs. I had 3 demands. Double my current salary, full remote, I work 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and that's it. She countered offered by offering me exactly what I had before. I explained I had more now. She told she would see what she could do and get back to me. Spoke to a friend that still works there. F-wit was boasting in a meeting with him that I've been begging her to give me my old job back, and she was considering it because she knew I was stressed and had a bit of a breakdown. Bitch. F-wit calls me back, offers to match my new salary and full remote, and some other bullshit that I know will never happen. I told her I heard about me begging and hung up. TLDR, boss made my life hell, I quit, she's fucked, begged me to come back, I told her to shove it. Lessons I learned from a Gen Zer. A Gen Z worker in our office, entry-level help desk tech, late at least twice a week, slept at their desk on the regular since they would stay up late playing video games. Never took on extra assignments. Instead of going through old tickets and doing follow-up, they would watch Twitch streams. Was still a good employee, like never slacked on customer service when we got a call. Just got a new job, 30K more a year and 4 out of 5 days remote instead of our 1 day of remote. This person is my hero. Tourist town doesn't pay decent wages so their workers can't afford to live there. Outcome? Unable to run businesses due to short staffing. Visited a newer tourist town in the south and was greeted by signs in front of stores and restaurants stating "Please be patient, we are short-staffed" or "New hours due to short staffing" or "Closed today due to short staffing." The greed for wanting tourist money is being cancelled out by their refusal to pay a livable wage to their workers. If your staff can't afford to live and work in your town, you might be doing something wrong. Employees that work in an understaffed job should get a cut of the pay of the fully staffed amount of people. I was just in a McDonald's where every teenager was moving as fast and accurate as a tank crew at battle. They were understaffed and these teenagers need recognition for their work above and beyond the call of duty faster than any other workers. You know that thing where your coworker calls you in a panic wondering if you can cover their shift? This is lean staffing, and has been an intentional part of North American capitalism since the 1990s. When North Americans adopted lean production from Japanese business practices, they drifted it and called it lean and mean. Short staffing to strategically capture your unworked hours is intentional. When I worked at Starbucks in 2007, my manager had a computer program that analyzed our sales data and determined the number of hours our store needed to function smoothly. He always underscheduled by 7. Why are you doing that? I'm supposed to. Also, it affects my bonus. I've seen so many friends cancel plans last minute because their boss called and told them to come in, or a coworker was forced to cover their own shift. My friends always felt beholden. If I don't go in, they can't open. Businesses structure their labor like this on purpose. Lean staffing in service jobs is also tightly tied to the practice of scheduling just under the number of hours that's legally considered a full-time employee, so your employer can deny you benefits coverage. The mechanisms vary based on local laws, but the intent carries over. I wish I could end this by saying so just turn down pleading demands to come in unscheduled and advocate for a minimum of 24 weekly hours every week, knowing it would work out for you. But that's likely to get you fired, or called in by your manager for an absurd culture talk. There are no individual solutions to the managerial tactics of lean staffing and benefit dodging in a precarious service position, only collective ones: unionizing your workplace, campaigning for new municipal bylaws, and agitating for socialist revolution. All risky. Good luck. If you disrespect me, I'm walking. This happened a couple of months ago, but I still feel I want to share this story. I had a nicely paying job as a developer, it's all the rage now, for a small mid-sized startup company in the EU, just putting it out there since most posts seem to originate from America. Anyway, work was going great and my manager spoke highly of me on the quarterly reviews. But his manager was a dick. He was the head of technology, overseeing every tech team's manager, and was in general, just a douchebag. He'd often clash with other people, and in the end his opinion mattered over everyone else's, "I'm right, you're wrong" kind of attitude. Through some staffing weirdness, HR issues were to be dealt with him as well, since we didn't have a proper HR department. So, here I am, working as a front-end developer. For those who don't know, front-end is the more visual part of websites/applications, like coding the layout and making buttons work, in Eli 5 terms. Long story short, I'm working on this new feature that after launch will open up a new market, and there's already a beta version running for some users. But someone, somewhere, changed some code which impacted the layout I was building. It still worked though. What happens next is that after I leave for the day, I get a Slack notification from this dick manager, saying that something seems weird and needs fixing. I ignore it because it's not really urgent and I can deal with it when I'm back at work the following day. So he sends a few more Slack messages, before sending emails to my work and personal addresses, text messages to my personal number, and trying to call me a few times. His messages were basically saying that things were unacceptable the way they were, and I needed to try and fix things ASAP. Before I got to bed I sent him a quick text. I didn't have my phone with me, I'll look at the issues tomorrow. He doesn't reply, but I notice a notification for a meeting with him, virtual, as I'm WFH, for 8:30 the following morning, which is exactly the time I start working. Next day comes, I get to the meeting and sit there for about 10 minutes, alone, noticing he's offline in Slack. So I exit the meeting, and send him a message about it. He replies about 30 minutes later saying something along the lines of "It was a placeholder meeting, just needed you to be here." I felt absolutely disrespected. Not only he spammed me during out of hours over something minimal, as he made me look like a fool by attending a ghost meeting. And I can't even go to HR, since he is the HR. So I take things a step further. Since this is a small startup, the C-level people are easily accessible, and encourage you to do so. I reach out to the CEO, explain the situation, and hand out my 1-month notice, as it is the law. Dick manager reached out to me shortly after, trying to clear up any misunderstanding that might have happened on my side. OFC, he was never at fault, right, and to understand if my decision was final. It was. And since I had plenty of available time off, that meant I would only be working 2 more days from the date I handed out the resignation, which was just enough time to gather my shit and go. 2 months later, and I can see they still haven't launched the feature I was working on. After all, I had the most knowledge about it too, and training someone new can't be that easy. Since then, I've been looking for a job and figured I could easily get 10 to 20% raise at a new position. Got 2 offers within that range, asked for both for some time to think, and one of them bumped the offer by a lot. So now I'm sitting comfortably at about a 55% raise from previous job. Last I've checked on LinkedIn, my direct manager also quit shortly after me. Disrespect your workers and you have a falling apart team on your hands. I'm putting in my resignation today. I'm giving them a courtesy 2 weeks notice. I'm sending the email once I get back from lunch in 30 minutes. I got the official start date for my new job this morning that will be giving me a 12.5% raise. Giving myself a week off between jobs to relax and reset, maybe even go camping. And my final day is the day before I was scheduled to work on a weekend at a location over an hour away from my home, so I get to pull that rug out from under them too. So nervous, but so happy. Update 1, so far the assistant manager has sent a red receipt, but otherwise has not spoken to or acknowledged me. The branch manager has come into my office briefly to ask questions, to which I gave vague answers to. She also gave her congratulations, but she said it rather spitefully. Update 2, was called into Am's office to discuss. She seemed upset. Wanted to know if it was something they had done. Informed her it wasn't the branch, but the company that had made me decide to look for other opportunity. She still congratulated me though. Both BM and AM ignored the last line of my notice letter. If further clarification is requested, please contact me via email.